Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. But before I get started, please click the like and subscribe button as it helps this channel grow very quickly. So we're going to talk about XRP, but I want to start with this. So Michael Saylor just announced he's resigning as CEO after 33 years, after losing his firm over $2 billion. So MicroStrategy executives are also rumored to be dumping the rest of their Bitcoin next quarter. The great escape is beginning. Sounds terrible, right? If you were a Bitcoin holder, you'd want to sell it. But it's not what you think. So, Saylor says, as an executive chairman, I will be able to focus more on our Bitcoin acquisition strategy and related Bitcoin advocacy initiatives. He's also going to focus on crypto and Bitcoin operations. This could be because now Bitcoin is somehow ISO compatible thanks to XDC. But we also know it's going to be listed as an F asset on Flare. And it can run on the XRP ledger. So Bitcoin is starting to get a little bit of use case and utility. So maybe that's why Michael Saylor wants to focus even more on it. Honestly, Bitcoin still being around is good for crypto, whether you like Bitcoin or not. It really is. So let's take a look at this. So Colombia enlists Ripple Labs to put land deeds on blockchain. And we see here, using the XRP ledger, Colombian leaders can make real estate transactions more equitable. That's massive. Another huge utility and use case for XRP. Although Ripple wants to let us know where XRP is headed in the future, it is prohibited by the lawsuit from doing so. I believe they gave us a hint on their website. However, many people will read it and not give it any thought. I say read it again. XRP, utility for the new global economy. And the thing is, I talk to people that aren't in crypto, and I'll tell them, maybe you should just buy a little bit of XRP. It'll make you rich in the future. And they just cannot see this new financial system coming. A lot of people don't believe it's even going to happen. But then we see this. So, India central bank deploying blockchain technology with confirmed RippleNet partners. And Mercurio, a global payment network, is the latest fintech company to add support for XRP. According to a recent announcement, XRP was integrated into the Mercurio payments platform, enabling users to adopt the asset class in cross-border payments. Here's the thing. This is what I think is actually happening. Whenever we read something like this, I think Ripple is out there laying the groundwork for the new financial system, getting everything in place, getting countries ready to be on board. I think we're just a little bit too early yet until they actually go ahead and bring the new financial system up and running. I still think we need a liquidity crisis for that to happen. I think we're going to see that soon. You could see liquidity crisis here and there all throughout the world right now. So, monitoring. Last November, Ripple user Thunes partnered with Ethiopia telco Ethio for cross-border payments. There is no indication this uses Ripple or XRP yet. However, it occurred after Thunes' first Ripple tie-up and would seem to be a good fit. You see what I mean? They've been building this for a long time now. With cross-border payments, getting everything in place. It's been going on for a while. We keep hearing about adoption in this country or that country. We see cross-border payments actually being used in the real world. But people still don't even believe that. They think that some sort of government, solution is going to come out to replace XRP. People have been saying that for so long. Yet we just seen proof that Ripple is out there on the front line getting things ready, in my opinion. So one or more of the SEC's crypto lawsuits could reach the Supreme Court, which is uniquely situated to say what relevance, if any, It's how we test and the underlying statutes have to cryptocurrency. SEC versus Ripple is perhaps the most likely. Now, here's the thing. You know how I know this SEC lawsuit is a joke? And how I know XRP is definitely a cryptocurrency? Because Brad Garlinghouse would not go to Congress, try to get Congress to come up with some sort of regulatory clarity or laws put in place dealing with crypto if XRP was not a cryptocurrency. Why would he do that? I mean, I believe still the price of XRP is very suppressed for a reason. I think we're still in this lawsuit for a reason. I sometimes have optimism that Gary Gensler is okay and he's going to give XRP regulatory clarity when it's needed. And maybe he's there just to hold it back for now. I don't know. But it could be very likely. But what I do know is that XRP is definitely a cryptocurrency. And at some point, the price suppression will end. And when it ends, it's going to be miraculous where XRP goes in price. That's when we'll really fully see exactly what we held for so long. But like everything, it takes time. I think they're building this new financial system slowly, getting it ready. And then all at once, when it finally does go live, that's when XRP will truly fly. So imagine putting Bitcoin and stablecoins for cross-border payments, when the first that comes in mind for that use case is always XRP. Bitcoin is even more expensive and sometimes slower than traditional banking. And this always comes up, especially now, because somebody actually said there's no more need for Nostro Vostro, and XDC is building a different solution for cross-border payments that competes with XRP. And that XDC is going to utilize Bitcoin for this. I always tell people all the time, you always put these cryptocurrencies against each other. It's like, okay, well, XDC is competing with XRP. XDC is competing with XLM in this way or that way. And I think the reason we all come to that solution is because these cryptocurrencies that are ISO compliant are very, very similar to each other. They have use cases outside of ISO. They have utility outside of ISO. They're used for different things. You know, XDC we know is going to take over the trade. We know XLM is person to person, XRP is bank to bank. But because they're so similar, people will always say things like, well, XDC is competing with XLM, or XLM is competing with XRP, and, you know, QNT now doesn't need XRP for this or that. It's things people say. But they see it that way because these cryptos are so similar. They can all bridge to other assets. We see that happening now with XDC and Bitcoin. We've seen it with Algorand, bridging Bitcoin to Flare. So even though they look very competitive to each other, somehow, some way, they will all be tied to each other. They will all be expensive in the future, I'm sure. So you can't always take into consideration when you see something that that's exactly what's going on. That's why I showed you this before I showed you this. Because again, if you just read this, this looks terrible for Bitcoin. Well, that's the same thing when people put like XRP against XDC or against XLM. Because this is all good for crypto. These cryptos are all tied to each other in the new financial system. Now, it's bad news for meme coins because they'll be gone when regulations come. So Bitcoin will be a wrapped asset on more networks than just XDC, Flare, Stellar, Algorand, Miota. And we don't know what kind of value that brings to these other cryptos. We don't know what value these cryptos bring to Bitcoin. We don't know yet. We know it's going to, bring yield from, Flare being an F asset on Flare. But we don't know exactly how this is all going to tie together yet until it all happens. So only time Bitcoin is green is when it runs through the XRP ledger. And that's the thing. People are now talking that, well, XCC is going to make Bitcoin, greener, and it's going to move it much faster. And I think it's there for a different purpose, and we're going to have to wait and see exactly what that purpose is. But I do know this. XRP, to me, is the greatest cryptocurrency ever created. I don't think any of them can actually compete with it. I think the partnerships are already in place, and the governments are already ready to adopt it and get it fully up and running, except the US, where innovation is being held back by the SEC. But what I do know is now's the time to just continue holding XRP and just being patient. Our time is coming. We get closer to it every day. With that said, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I want to thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.